Hello, my name is Rachel, and I'm here with Bookmas Day number 9. Today we're going to be talking about my top books published in 2016, and I actually read more published this year than I thought I did, so I was really excited. That was kind of one of my goals this year, is to read more books published the year that I'm reading them. So, yay, I met a goal! Now, let's get to the books. Number 1 is A Torch Against the Night, which was just released this year, and I read it this year, so check. And I already mentioned that in a previous video, so I won't talk too much about it here. Next up is another one that I mentioned in a previous video, and that is The Last Star by Ricky Yancey. Again, published this year, read this year. Check. Next up is Ghost by Raina Telgemeier. I was pretty pumped for this release. I have been following her graphic novels, especially since I have become a librarian, trying to build up our graphic novel collections in the libraries. And I read, I think Sisters or Smile. I think it was Smile first, and I really liked it. It was a little bit different than anything I'd read before, so I really kind of jumped on the train then. And then I read, I don't remember which one it was, I think maybe Drama, and I did not like it as much. I was like, ooh, maybe I'm not on the train. So I was very much interested to see how I'd feel about Ghost, and it was my favorite one I've read so far. I really, really, really liked it. By far, favorite one of her books that I've read so far. So, if you haven't yet read this one, I would highly recommend starting with Ghost if you're going to jump into Raina Telgemeier. On a side note, though, she is now taking the Anne M. Martin books from the Babysitters Club and reworking them as graphic novels. So, those are definitely going to have to happen soon. I remember reading the Babysitters Club books, and I am excited to see her take on them. So, keep an eye out for that. Next up is P.S. I Like You by Casey West. I failed miserably at my Casey West challenge. In August, I was going to try to read all of Casey West's books, and it didn't happen in August, it didn't happen in September, it didn't happen in October, it didn't happen in November, and as of today, it still hasn't happened. Now, I have gotten really close, though. I've read all of them now, except for 2 that are currently published, and they aren't really the contemporaries, but still technically haven't made my August goal, which kind of bums me out. But, you know, I read a lot of Casey West this year, which is something, right? And I really enjoyed them all. They're really cutesy, contemporary, it's just a break, I feel like, from the world. They're not, like, super depressing. They're not, like, super weighty. They're just enjoyable to read. They're not going to change your world, but they are going to make you enjoy the time you spend reading them, which is really awesome. And the new one this year was P.S. I Like You, and I did like this one. It was so cute, and there's supposed to be another one coming out, I think maybe in February, by Casey West, called By My Side, By Your Side, something like that, and I am super excited for that one, so stay tuned. Next up is Shadow House, The Gathering. This is by Dan Pawlowski, who came to visit our school this year, and again, another great speaker. We had a lot of fun with him visiting, and this was his new series, again, obviously published in 2016, that follows the story of these students who have all been kind of lured to this house under different circumstances. One of them thinks she's an orphan and that her aunt, her long-lost aunt, would like her to move into this house and has sent for her, so she shows up. Another 2 or 3 think it's a school for some sort of special skill that they have. One of them, or maybe 2 of them, think it's a movie shoot, and they're getting ready to shoot their next movie, and once they show up, all the doors and windows lock, and all the ghosts come out to play. So, woo! It was a little scary, I thought, for a younger middle grade book, and yeah. Hopefully it didn't terrify any of the kids too bad, but it was very interesting. I would have liked more in the first book, I thought, but I'm still very excited to read the second one. I just saw the cover the other day online somewhere, and it looks awesome, so I'm looking forward to the next installment of this one. Next up is another one I mentioned in a previous video, and this was Escape from Asylum. This was the newest installment of the Asylum series, and again, just came out this year, read it this year, check. Yet another one that I mentioned already. This is just a very repetitive list. I apologize. I thought, well, you know, but that makes sense, though. Like, the series one and this one will obviously line up because I'm going to read those new series books as soon as they come out. So I feel like these lists kind of mesh up. But next up is Miss Marvel Volume 5. That one just came out this year, and I read it this year. Check. Next up is The Raven King, the newest in the Raven Cycle series by Maggie Stiefvater. Check. And, you know, I am a big fan of the Maggie Stiefvater, so I feel like she's always going to be on this list. Whenever she publishes a new book, I'm going to be on it. I think I have a few from the back catalog that I need to read, but I can do that and get all caught up that way. As soon as she cranks out a new book, I'm there for it. And last up is The Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. And again, I read this when it came out because I was super excited because I'm totally into that world. I do have to say, though, this series made me really, really excited for her new middle grade young adult series. And I still haven't managed to read that one yet, so that needs to happen next year. So yeah. So those are my favorite 9 titles that came out in 2016. I'm looking forward to having some more new releases in 2017. I really enjoy reading the new books. Before BookTube, that wasn't really, I don't think, a thing that I really even thought about, but now I'm just much more aware of when the books are coming out and which ones I'd like to read ahead of time, so I'm a lot more on the publication dates of things now that I'm on the BookTube, so thank you for that, BookTube. As for reading, once again, I'm pre-filming this video, so I'm not really sure where my reading is. Hopefully, I'm doing stellar, and I'll be able to give you an awesome update tomorrow, which will be my first full day on Christmas break from school, so yay! And thank you for watching this video. I will see you again tomorrow with another video.